So, Hare Krishna, we continue reading from Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, chapter 7, Adi-Lila. We are hearing about the Pancha Tattva. Text 10, we started reading the translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and we'll continue with it. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Controller, the one personality of Godhead, has ecstatically become a devotee, yet his body is transcendental and not materially tinged. So Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. The Mayavadi philosophers, however, try to equate the minute living entities with the supreme living entity. You see, this is what our problem is. We think we are God. No, there's no difference between God. Who's God? God, I, me, God, you, God, everyone, God. No, but there is a difference between us and God. That is the point we need to understand. Because they recognize no distinctions between them, their philosophy is called Advaitavad or monism. Factually, however, there is a distinction. This verse is especially meant to impart the Mayavadi philosophy, the understanding that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Controller. The Supreme Controller, the Personality of Godhead, is Krishna himself. But as a transcendental pastime, he has accepted the form of a devotee, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So why is God God and why we are not God? Why? Because he's the Supreme Controller. We are not the Supreme Controller. We are not. We can't order the sun and the moon. Oh, my dear son, you please today, you come from the south instead of the east. We can't. But God can do that because he's the Supreme Controller. So that's the point we need to understand, that there is a difference. Sure, we may have control, a small control over our, limited control of the people we are connected with. Maybe we have bigger control. We may be the president of a country, so we have the control of all the people of that country. Sure, we may have control of the planet. There used to be, before in Vedic times, one ruler of the planet, but control of everything and everyone, only God has that. Control over the material creation, the material energy, all the living entities, the spiritual world, only God has that. That's the distinction we need to understand. And God is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's Krishna himself. And he came as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He came as a devotee. As his pastime, he was not forced. Krishna is never forced to do anything. He's independent. We are forced. We are pushed in one body, then we are pulled out of another body, then we are again thrown into another womb. We are forced. But Krishna, he's independent. He comes by his own choice. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna comes to this planet exactly like a human being, some rascals consider him to be one of the ordinary humans. One who thinks in that mistaken way is described as mudha, or foolish. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, avajananti mam mudha, manushim tanum ashritam, that when I come in the human form, then what happens? The foolish, they cannot understand that I'm still the Supreme Lord. Even though I'm here in this world in front of them, I am not an ordinary human being. I'm still God. So it's out of our foolishness we are not able to understand that. And then Krishna calls us mudha, foolish. It's like the prisoner, because he sees the president has come to the prison for just a casual visit. And then the prisoner, instead of taking advantage, here is the president, let me see if he can help me get out of here. The prisoner says, oh, the president is also a prisoner. So then this prisoner is foolish. Therefore, one should not foolishly consider Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be an ordinary human being. He has accepted the ecstasy of a devotee, but he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we should understand the supreme position of Lord Chaitanya. Even though he's come in the form of a devotee, his ecstasy, he's feeling the ecstatic love because he has the mood of Srimati Radharani. We should not think that he's not the Supreme Lord himself. Since the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there have been many imitation incarnations of Krishna who cannot understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself and not an ordinary human being. You know, there are many people who pretend that they are Lord Chaitanya or they are incarnation of Lord Chaitanya or expansion of Lord Chaitanya. But because they have not understood the position of Lord Chaitanya, that Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Less intelligent men create their own gods by advertising a human being as God. This is their mistake. Therefore, here the words Tanra Shuddha Kalevara warn that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body is not material, but purely spiritual. One should not, therefore, accept Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as an ordinary devotee, although he has assumed the form of a devotee. So we should not be foolish. We should understand the supreme position of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that his form is Satchidananda. He is God himself. He is not an ordinary person. We think, oh, this one is an incarnation of God, that one is an incarnation of God. We think that out of our foolishness. Out of our foolishness, we say, oh yeah, this one, because somebody shows us some power, some control over certain people, and we start thinking he's God. But no, who is God? We have to understand from the scriptures, Sadhu, Guru, and Shastra. We should not be misled. When we just go to buy ordinary things, we do so much research work, but whereas God is comes, we think, oh, anyone is okay, everything is okay, To buy anything, we do so much research work. But when we want to understand God, oh, anyone is fine. That's our foolishness. So he accepted. Yet one must certainly know that although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he accepted the ecstasy of a devotee, one should not misunderstand his pastimes and place him in exactly the same position as Krishna. It is for this reason only that when Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was addressed as Krishna or Vishnu, he blocked his ears, not wanting to hear himself addressed as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what we are trying to understand is that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's the Supreme Lord himself, he's Krishna himself, but he's calm in the mood not of the enjoyer. His mood is not that I'm going to enjoy. Krishna's mood is that I'm the enjoyer. He showed 16,100 wives, 16,100 palaces. He expanded himself, millions of gopis in the Ras-Lila. Krishna showed that, yes, he's in the mood of enjoyment. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but he's come not in the mood of enjoyment. He's come in the mood of a devotee. He's come to feel the ecstasy, the love of a devotee. He said, okay, enjoyment, I know how it feels, but I want to feel what the love the devotee is feeling. I want to feel that. And so that's the reason when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, people would call him, oh, you're Krishna yourself, you're Vishnu yourself. He would close his ears. He was like, no, I'm just a devotee of Krishna. There's a class of devotees called Gauranga Nagari, whose stage plays of Krishna's pastimes using a vigraha or form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is a mistake that is technically called rasavas. While Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is trying to enjoy as a devotee, one should not disturb him by addressing him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his mood is that I want to enjoy. How? As a devotee. So we should not do this rasbhas. Rasbhas means, mixing of the rasas, the humors, because Krishna is enjoying mood, whereas Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the mood of a devotee. So we should not mix up these moods, otherwise it's called something called rasa bhasa. So we should not do this mistake. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of his Krishna himself, by his mercy that we are able to hear and chant about Krishna. Otherwise, it is very difficult to approach Krishna, very difficult. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, first you surrender to me, then I take away all your sinful reactions. First you surrender, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not put any conditions. He said, whoever you are, wherever you are, you just chant Hare Krishna. That is his mercy. We have no qualifications in this age of Kali. We are Kali-Yuga people. We have no qualifications. But by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are able to hear and chant. So we should really take shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hear, chant, accept his mercy, and go back home, back to Godhead. Is that okay?
They are telling us about Lord Chaitanya, that what is his mood and the Panchatattvas connected right now.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. So he is Krishna himself, but Krishna's mood is enjoying mood. But Krishna himself, okay, he enjoyed with gopis, he enjoyed so much with his queens. But now what he's saying, my God, I'm the one who's the enjoyer, but you are feeling more happiness than me. I should be feeling the most happy, right? Somebody does something for us, we feel so great. Huh? I'm so happy you're doing something for me.
Yeah.
But when we see the other person is feeling more happier than me, then we wonder, oh my God, what is in your heart? What are you, what is your heart made of? How come you are serving me and you're feeling more happy? I want to feel, I want to have this heart. This is what Krishna is feeling. That's why he came as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Wow. It's so beautiful, yeah.
Yes, this is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is Krishna. He's like, my devotees, they're serving me and they're feeling more happier than me. What is this going on? I'm not able to feel that because my mood is enjoyer. As an enjoyer, I'm not able to feel this love, this deep sentiment that they're able to feel. I want to feel that. So he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Wow. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna.